HDFS is a layer on top of all your servers which acts like a single computer, guys. Okay, that is what the distributed file system is. It's a group of computers which are acting as if they're one computer. In the first floor, your first floor apartment is nothing but a group of computers. It is acting like one apartment. Okay, am I making sense, guys? Vivek and Lokesh, how are you guys doing, buddy? Lokesh, how are you doing? Am I making sense, buddy? Okay. Lokesh, just want to make sure you're able to hear me, Lokesh. Okay, just checking with Lokesh, guys. Lokesh, are you able to hear me, buddy? Yeah. So I just want to make sure you're able to hear me. If it's not a big problem, Lokesh,
Muted.
ask your question. Just type in the questions window, no? Just type in a Y there so that I understand that you're, in sync with me and you're following with me. Okay. Thank you, buddy. All right, guys. So that is a distributed file system. You can also think of the distributed file system as the brain of Hadoop, guys. Okay. The reason we call it as the brain of Hadoop is because in the brain, in your brain, you store different thoughts, guys. Okay. So in the distributed file system, you go ahead and save different kinds of data. You store your data in HDFS, guys. Okay. So let's go ahead and put it in data. Let's select that one. Go ahead and say. So these are different varieties of the data you store in your brain. What do you do with in our brain? We store thoughts, guys. Then once we store our thoughts, what do? Well, we analyze our thoughts. Okay. So what do we have? Well, for analyzing the data in the HDFS, we have another layer called MapReduce, guys. Okay. MapReduce is used for reading the data in HDFS and analyzing and processing the data in HDFS, guys. Okay. That's why MapReduce is called the heart of the Hadoop, guys. Okay. But there is one problem with MapReduce. What is that? That is, you need to be an expert in Java to use MapReduce. Okay. So Hadoop has two alternatives for that, guys. Okay. What is that? Well, we have two eyes. Hadoop also has two eyes, guys. What is that? One is Hive. What will Hive do? So here is Hive. Hive is used for analysis, guys. What do? We go ahead and we give SQL as input to Hive. Hive will take the SQL. It will internally convert to Java MapReduce programs, and it will go ahead and read the data, process the data, analyze the data for you. So the advantage is you don't need to be Java expert. You don't need to be a MapReduce expert, guys. Okay. Hive will take SQL as input. Similarly, you also have one more tool that is called Pig, guys. Okay. What will Pig do? Pig is also used for analysis. Hive and Pig are like our eyes, guys. Okay, using our eyes, we analyze the world, right? What do our eyes do? Imagine your eyes are connecting to the heart, and the heart goes ahead and reads the thoughts in your brain, guys. Okay, so that's what Hive and Pig do. They are connecting to their heart, which is the MapReduce. And what does Pig do? Pig will take simple English-like scripting statements as input. Okay. It will convert them to Java MapReduce programs. Again, you don't have to be an expert in Java to go ahead and work on Pig or Hive, guys. And then it will read the data, it will process the data, it will analyze the data. Those two are the eyes of Hadoop. And then MapReduce is the heart of Hadoop. HDFS is the brain of Hadoop, guys. Okay. There's one more thing, guys. What is that? The stomach of Hadoop. What is the stomach of Hadoop? It is the database of Hadoop. What is it? Well, that is what the HBase is. Let's go ahead and Soumya, I'll come to your question in one quick second. Oops. Go ahead and type this here. HBase, okay? HBase is the stomach of Hadoop, guys. Okay, why do we call it as stomach? Because we store the data in the database. HBase is the database of Hadoop, and Hadoop is not a database, guys. Remember, Hadoop is a HDFS. It's a distributed file system. What is a distributed file system? They're a group of computers. They're acting as if they're one computer. That is your Hadoop base. And HBase is the database. What do you do with the database? You store the data. In our stomach, we store our food, guys, okay? Hive and Pig are used for analysis. They're both used for the same purpose, guys. You can either use Hive, you can either use Pig. There are some things Hive is good at, there are some things Pig is good at, okay? So you use both of them in the real world generally. All right, they're both used for analysis, but you cannot modify the data, you cannot store the data using Hive and Pig. You take the data which is already stored and you analyze. Whereas with HBase, you can store the data in HDFS, you can modify the data in HDFS, and you can randomly read, update, and delete it and use it as a real database, guys. That is why HBase is called the database of Hadoop, guys. Okay, and there are a few more tools, guys. What is that? Well, here is another tool. Let's use this one. That is a scoop. What is happening in today's world, guys? What happens is when you go to a company, there are many kinds of databases. You have an SQL database, you have a MySQL database, you have a Oracle database, and many times what they would like to do is they would like to go ahead and get the data from these different databases and save it into your HDFS. Then they won't use Pig and Hive and they won't use analyze the data, guys, okay? But how do you get the data from these different databases? Well, that's where it comes in Scoop. Okay, come here. Come here. That's where you have Scoop, guys. What does Scoop do? Scoop will take simple Linux like commands as input, and it will convert them to Java MapReduce programs and transfer the data from different databases into HDFS or Hadoop, guys. Okay, that is called importing. You can also take the data and transfer them back to HDFS, I'm sorry, a database. That is called exporting the data, guys. Okay, so Scoop is a data transfer tool for structured data. In other words, structured data is the data in the database, guys. Okay, am I making sense, guys? Are you with me so far? Can you give me a quick acknowledgement, please? Great. Now, what is happening, guys? Today, what is happening is internet is becoming your new database. Okay, what do companies want to do? They want to get the data from internet and save it to your HDFS. Then they want to analyze it using Hive and Pig, process the data, and do things like that, guys. Okay, so what do we have? That's where it comes in Flume. Okay, let's go ahead and use that. We'll call it as Flume. Flume is a data transfer tool for transferring unstructured data. It's a continuous data ingestion tool, guys. Okay, as the people are talking about it, all your data will be saved into HDFS and then you can analyze using your eyes in a simple way, guys. Okay, so Flume is for transferring unstructured data, Scoop is for transferring structured data. Okay, we also have another tool, guys. What is that? That is called Oozie. Let's go ahead and select that. I'll say that's Oozie. Okay, what does Oozie do? When we, in real world, when we go and write scripts in Pig, Hive, and Scoop and all these things, right? What we do is we don't execute them one step at a time. What we will do is we will write a few scripts in Hive. We will get some output. That output will become input to Pig. Then you'll write some scripts in Pig. You'll get some output. That output will become input to Scoop. And from Scoop, you will go ahead and transfer the data into HDFS. How do you do this? One after one, in sequence or in parallel. What do you use? That's where it comes in Oozie, guys. Okay, Oozie is a workflow scheduling tool. It will allow you to schedule your works, your sequence of steps in a workflow. You know, the input of one will become an output, or the output of one will become an input, and things like that. Okay, so Oozie is a workflow scheduling tool. And today, there's another tool which is getting pretty popular, guys. What is that? That is what Spark is. Okay, let's go down. What is Spark? Spark is nothing but it's an in-memory analytics engine, guys. Okay, what does it do? It will make your Hadoop 10 to 100 times faster based on the type of data that we have. Okay, so what are all these things? These are all the tools which come with Hadoop. Okay, what are these things? We're going to be learning all these things during our course, guys. Okay, are you all with me, guys? Am I making sense? So in other words, short and sweet, what do we have? Hadoop has one brain, it has one heart, two eyes, and a stomach, and a